Hello, my friends. Okay, so what I'm going to do today is give you a nice tip for working with materials. So what I have here is a figure. It's got it's Michael 4 and it's got cycles texture that I was working on. And if I go into the material room by clicking up here, and then I can pick up the texture for his face here. Or I could click on there, but it's got hair, so sometimes it picks up the hair instead. And you'll see that this is a cycle texture that I was building. Now, the texture is not the important thing, but what I want to show you is just a nice, easy way to organize your library. So what you do is you do a drag marquee around all of the components of the texture. Okay, I didn't want that root node. Okay, this is the problem. It doesn't let you scale them to the best of my knowledge. If you know how to shrink these down, let me know. I think on Cycles you just use on Blender you just use the middle scroll wheel and it scrolls you out, or maybe I'm thinking of Surface. But anyway, you just go over any of these and you just do collapse to compound node. And now you can give that a name, thread. And now all of those textures all of those nodes have been reduced to just the root node, the cycle surface node, and thread. But here's a cool thing. So I'm just doing undo. So there's a number of elements of this texture that I may wish to edit at some point in the future. So I'm going to do a drag select, and then I'm going to hold down Control to add on the extra elements I want. And what I'm doing here is I'm leaving the three textures and this mix closure here. And then I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to do collapse to compound node, which gives me this node here. But I now still have access to these three input nodes where I can change the material. So supposing this was a material where I was working on a technique to create the material. Actually, I mixed one of the nodes, but it doesn't matter. Supposing I was working on the technique to create a cycles node, and I was working on it a lot, and then I was going to transfer that across to lots of different figures. This would be a really useful way to create a template which I could then use for other stuff. So let me just go back and make sure I get all of the bits I want here. So want these, want to, right, where's the one that mixes glossy? Right, so I want to leave that one, want to include those. I'm holding down Control to add to these here. Don't need the actual glossy thing. This is going to be the glossy mix. This is brightness, so that can just go in there. And then I'm going to do the same again and collapse the compound node. So now this mix closure here, which is just a way of mixing different inputs. Here, two inputs, and then the ratio says what percentage. Let me just show you. So the ratio tells you what percentage of the top or the bottom input. So I believe 0.2 is 0.2 of the top and 0.8% of the 0.2, 20% and 80% of the top and bottom. It could be the other way around, I always forget. But what I have here now, I've created a template for my cycles, which feeds into this cycled surface root node. And I can simply change the materials while leaving all of this inside stuff unchanged. And it just greatly simplifies my material room. I'm making gestures as if you can see my hands. But if you want to look inside, you just click on this compound and it expands everything back open. Here, you can see everything. And if you want to close it, just go up here and close it back down again. So hopefully you found that useful, guys. It doesn't just apply to cycles, it applies to any material. So if you want a simplified material room, this is a great way to work on it. It's kind of halfway between the simplified material room that Poser used to have and this more complicated version, which gives you a lot more control. So anyway, guys, hopefully you found that useful. You have a great day.